I'm Narelle Todd.
And I'm Essie Susan Smith.
We are the self-publishing author and marketing duo that has sold over 2 million books. But we didn't start out knowing how to sell books. Fast forward past many failed promotions and a lot of lessons learned, you will see how we went from self-publishing newbies to hitting the New York Times bestsellers list and making the USA Today bestsellers list 19 times and counting. We created the Get My Book Out There podcast to give you simple yet effective marketing strategies to increase readership and book sales so you know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, as well as some tips for staying mentally and physically well.
Let's get started.
Hey everyone, it's Narelle Todd here from Get My Book Out There, and I wanted to do a special podcast for you. I'm on my own here this week, but I didn't want to let this opportunity go past without actually doing a podcast for you. And what I want to talk to you today is about how to create snippets. So one thing that I see authors make is that they often don't share examples of their writing. And by that, I mean snippets or, an excerpt is generally something which is a page or more. It's a fairly longer piece of text. A snippet is maybe a couple of sentences, and it really gives just a bit of a taste and a bit of an idea as to what's going on in your story. So I wanted to run through with you how to actually go through and choose snippets, because I find this is one thing that authors really struggle with. You've spent all this time writing your story, and then it's really hard to come at it from a reader's point of view and look at your story with new eyes and say, what in here, one or two sentences can I pull out that is really going to get attention or spark interest in your story. So I get it. I understand how difficult it can be, and I hope that these tips help you work out how to pull some snippets out of your story. Now, if you yourself have a Kindle and you have your story loaded onto your Kindle, and I hope you are buying your own story, one of the things that you can do is go into the Kindle app and look for popular highlights. Now, these are sections, passages, snippets that readers have actually highlighted in their own version of your story. And these are things that they've gone, oh, I love that part, or, I want to share that with somebody else, or this is a really good part. Readers love to make annotations about certain aspects of the story that they really connect with. So go into your own Kindle, have a look for popular highlights, and then look at what some of those things are and maybe pull out some of those. At least this way, you know that some readers have said, these were the parts that I like. The other thing that I want you to think about with your story is, where are there moments where there's been like a bit of a cliffhanger, or there's been just something, a touching scene, an amazing moment between characters, where people, when they have read your story, perhaps they were your editor or a beta reader, and they have said to you, oh, that part really, touched my heartstrings, or it made me cry, it made me laugh. You want to pull something out which has really got some emotion in it. So you're looking for a cliffhanger. Obviously, you're going to leave people hanging, and that's what you want, because you want to get interest, you want to gain that attention from them, or you want to really touch them, whether it's with sadness or anger and some kind of negative emotion like that, or a more positive emotion, which is happy, positive, or just something really touching that made them cry. It could be happy tears, or it could be sad tears. So have a look for those. Where are your cliffhanger moments? Can you draw a couple of sentences out from that cliffhanger to use as a snippet? Also look at where are the emotional parts. Can you pull out a couple of sentences there for to grab that emotion, so that you can show your readers that they are going to experience this pretty amazing experience when they read your story. The other thing I want you to think about is, what is your genre? Who are your readers? Now, one thing I did see, and I thought, kudos to them, at least they gave it a try. I was noticed with a reader who writes in sweet contemporary romance, and it's sweet and clean, I should say. And what she actually did was, thinking she was doing the right thing because she copied somebody from contemporary romance who had heat in their story. What she had done was pull out a snippet from her story that gave the impression that her story had heat. Now, what she's going to do is annoy readers who were thinking or expecting this to be a sweet contemporary romance. It's sweet and clean. That's what that story actually is. And she's also going to annoy romance readers who are expecting a contemporary romance with some heat in it, because that's what the snippet gave this kind of feel. So be mindful about choosing snippets which actually match your readers. You don't want to upset either the people you actually are meaning to attract to your stories and the people you may inadvertently attract to your story because they get a sense that your story is not what it really is about. So be mindful when you're choosing your snippets. Make sure that they are ones that match your story and match your genre. That way you keep the readers that you want to keep, and you automatically do away with the readers who aren't a good match for your story. And that way you can reduce some of those, perhaps 1-star reviews because they picked up a story, in this case, expecting some heat. They didn't get that heat, and they may well leave a 1 or a 2-star review because they feel that you had sold them something which wasn't real. So all the best with finding your snippets. I hope that this helps. These 4 tips in there are ones that you can use to actually get some snippets together. Put those snippets into action with some great memes. Really use your book cover with the meme and the snippets and location to where they can pick up your story. And then, share those memes. Get them out there, circulating around there. People really want a taste of what they can expect from your story. And snippets are just another way that you can give them that taste. And it's also helpful for your social media marketing. So 2 birds with 1 stone. How good is that? Okay, let me know how you go. Leave us a comment. Let us know. Always interested to hear your success stories, things where that they may not have worked for you, and what you did to change things around and get it to work. I think those are sometimes the really powerful stories. See ya. Bye.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. We've got way more information we want to share with you to increase your book sales. So please come and join me at facebook.com. Get my book out there.